Defense Secretary Gavin Williamson insists Britain will remain a Tier 1 military power. Britain will remain a Tier 1 military power with the ability to deploy forces around the world, Defense Secretary Gavin Williamson has said. Speaking on a visit to Washington where he was holding talks with U.S. Defense Secretary General James Mattis, Mr. Williamson said the UK would continue to be reliable partners for the long term. He also took the opportunity to accuse Russia of adopting the tactics of terrorists. His comments came after Theresa May caused consternation earlier this year when she refused to state explicitly that the UK would remain a Tier 1 power amid reports of clashes with Mr. Williamson over future defense spending levels. Addressing the Atlantic Council think tank, Mr. Williamson said, "Britain is a major global actor. We have always been a Tier 1 military power and we always will be a Tier 1 military power." He pointed to the UK's independent nuclear deterrent, world-class special forces and cyber capabilities, and exceptional conventional forces able to deploy independently around the globe. Mr. Williamson also used his address to emphasize the continuing importance of NATO to the U.S. after Donald Trump berated allies for failing to contribute more to the costs of their collective defense at last month's alliance summit in Brussels. The defense secretary pointed out that the only time NATO's Article 5, which commits members to come to the defense of an ally which is attacked, had been invoked was after the 9/11 terror attacks on the Twin Towers in 2001. He said years of pressure by the US and the UK to persuade other allies that they needed to spend more on defense were now paying off, with 8 member states set to meet the target of spending 2% of their GDP on defense. Alongside the US, the UK has been pressing for the alliance to do more, to pay its way. "We are now seeing the results. Last year saw NATO's biggest spending increase in 25 years, he said. Since making the investment pledge at the 2014 Wales summit, allies have spent $87 billion more on defense. In just 2 years' time that number will increase to at least $150 billion. Increasingly we are seeing more partners pull their weight realizing that they have got to spend more because of the increasing threat that the world faces." The defense secretary said Russia adopting the tactics of terrorists following the Salisbury nerve agent attack in March, which left 1 dead and 3 injured, including a former double agent and his daughter. He described Russia as increasingly aggressive and responsible for a pattern of malign behavior, including political subversion and increased military posturing.